legs around me.
Looks like we're talking about my two favorite people. Not literally, but in terms of my eternal quest to cover every single thing in Adventure Time, including all 288 episodes. However, at the exact same time, one thing I've realized is that a good chunk of Adventure Time can sometimes be categorized as filler. Those are my words and only my words, and that's coming from a guy who's seen this show multiple times. So a good chunk of them are going to be incredibly short or incredibly summarized. But luckily, today is not one of those days.
I lied.
The episode My Two Favorite People begins with Finn and Jake battling a gigantic shark creature as well as a cat, which is a little weird, but hey, it is what it is. Jake ultimately learns that Finn fights these creatures every single day, but due to the fact that he's always with Lady, he realizes that he misses out on a lot of fun times with Finn. However, when he hangs out with Finn, he quickly realizes that he loses time with Lady Rainicorn, realizing that it's a lose-lose situation. However, luckily, Shelby, in all his infinite wisdom, quickly comes to the very simple conclusion that he can just hang out with both of them at the exact same time. Because Shelby is awesome and a genius, and if you do not like him, I will find you and I will deal with you. Moving away from the threats of your mental, physical, financial, and even emotional health, Jake does exactly what Shelby recommends and tries to get them to hang out together. The problem is that Finn and Lady Rainicorn don't exactly click immediately. They have entirely different interests under most circumstances, and it's pretty clear that it's pretty awkward, which is incredibly fair. Just think about the last time you tried to socialize with someone you literally do not know. Unless you've been in your room this whole time, in which case click off the video, it's been 10 days, go see the sun. It also doesn't help that in this scenario, the person is speaking fluid Korean. Meanwhile, the only language you know is English and you're not even that good at speaking it. Luckily, Jake is not an idiot and quickly realizes that trying to make a friendship on that basis is pretty damn difficult. This is when Jake comes up with the brilliant idea of grabbing a universal translator so that Finn as well as Lady Rainicorn could speak directly. The translator was at the bottom of Lake Selazin. It was thrown there by Jake earlier for reasons.
Come on, my darling. Wrap your legs around me.
This place would ultimately serve to be their very first adventure as a group, in which Lady Rainicorn quickly ends up showing that she is amazing, saving Finn's life as well as showing some pretty useful utility purposes for her powers. Everything was going exactly according to the plan, except things went too well. Now that Lady Rainicorn and Finn were able to communicate directly, it quickly became apparent that they had way more in common than they had originally realized. So much in common that Jake was becoming jealous and even somewhat distant, which is somewhat hilarious as it went directly against his original point. Meanwhile, Finn and Lady were becoming closer and closer friends to the point where they were hanging out even without Jake at times. Coming to the poor, but albeit somewhat understandable conclusion that they were becoming too close to one another, he then proceeded to do something pretty damn terrible, which was trying to make both Finn as well as Lady Rainicorn jealous by interacting with Tiffany. Being the incredibly emotionally mature individual that Lady Rainicorn is, she quickly comes to the conclusion that there is something wrong with Jake and tries to talk it out, which, as expected, settles things incredibly quickly. It's a nice little moment between the two, and it's pretty clear that despite his flaws, Lady Rainicorn not only acknowledges them, but still loves him anyway, and I really do vibe with that. Meanwhile, Finn was still beating the absolute shit out of Tiffany, but still, it was still a nice moment regardless. So, if we learned anything from this video, it's that communication is key. Don't be jealous for something that you started, and always, always, always remember that trying to make someone jealous is a losing game. But anyway, that's all I got for this video. I know it's been a minute, Jesus fuck, life sucks, I suck, my schedule sucks, but we're going to figure that out as we go. Don't worry. I'm here. I'm trying. Jesus Christ. Anyway, thanks to my patrons. Thank you so much for watching. If you're still watching, thank you. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell icon, and as always, I will see you in the next video. Bye.